Welcome back to another episode of Mack Attacks, where you send in suggestions and I attack them with my opinion. Today we are talking about the award-winning book, The Alchemist, by the amazing author Paulo Coelho. Now, The Alchemist is one of those books where you don't know if you want to read it at first, but once you start getting into it, once you start reading it, it is one of the best books you will ever read in your life. Now, it also tackles a lot of heavy stuff in the book as well. It tackles the fear of fear. Now, you may be thinking, how can you have a fear of fear? Well, that's very simple. The fear of fear is basically just you're afraid of being in fear about something. And it's a very real thing. And many people don't realize that there is stuff in the world where it's okay to be afraid of it if it means that you're safe with yourself. Now, it also talks about this thing called personal legends. And personal legends is basically your personal journey to follow throughout your life so that you can be able to reach your full potential, or whatever it talks about in the book. Now, in the story, there's this character, his name is Santiago, and he was a shepherd. He owned a whole bunch of sheep, he owned a sheep farm. He was just living a normal life back in whatever time period this is. And he decided that he didn't want to live like that anymore. And so he went on his own personal journey to travel all the way from Spain to Egypt to see the pyramids in real life. Now, if y'all don't understand how far that is, it's pretty far. And when he was on this journey, he faced a lot of hardships. The journey was not easy for him whatsoever. It made him realize a lot of things within himself. It made him realize a lot of things within the world and how the world works and how we're all connected through the soul of the world, through the soul of God. It's a very, very touching book, and I feel like everyone should read it. Now, along this journey, he went into this crystal merchant. And this crystal merchant, he's an old guy. He's had this shop for at least 30 years. And he talked about how it was always his dream to be able to go to Mecca. Now, when Santiago asked him, he was like, why don't you follow your personal legend and why don't you go to Mecca? He explained that when you follow through with your dreams, then there's nothing to live for anymore. And that dreams should stay dreams. But according to Santiago, once you see your dream, once you fulfilled your dream, you've reached your full potential. Now, thank you, Crystal Merchant Shop, for actually sponsoring this video. They're one of the many reasons why I'm able to start in business. But yeah, this book, it talks about journey in such a unique and creative way that many people didn't expect. Many people thought, oh, the alchemist, they just wanted told, it's silt, it's hay into gold or whatever. And no, it's so much deeper than that. It talks about how we're connected. It talks about how when we take energy from the earth, one day we're gonna give it all back. The way we're connected through the soul of the world and through the soul of God is one of the many, many, many ways that we're able to be safe within ourselves throughout the world and throughout our lives. I just can't get enough of this book. It is so good. And it even talks about the fear of control. And the fear of control is a very, very, very real thing. And with the fear of control, you're scared that you're gonna try to control yourself too much. You're scared that someone else is gonna control you too much. It's a very, very real thing. And many people don't realize that. They're like, oh, fear of control, that's whatever, no one's gonna control me. Well, people can subconsciously control you in ways that you didn't expect. They can manipulate you, they can gaslight you. It is a very real thing. And in the book, he has this fear of control because he is scared that maybe his personal legend will control him too much, and he'll try to reach for things that he knows he'll never be able to reach. But in the end of the story, throughout the book, he realizes within himself that if he's centered through the soul of God and through the soul of the world, then he'll be fine to go on his journey. And he did end up reaching the pyramids at the end of the book, and he just fell to his knees and he wept that he finally was able to make it after all this time. And this book is actually amazing. My family really loves it. It is just an amazing book. If you have the time to read it yourself, please do. It is 100% worth it. Now, thank you for coming to Mack Attacks. I will be back with a new episode next week, so send in your suggestions. Bye.